I've written books about human behavior, about all sorts of things, but my first book was about lying. It's called Born Liars, Why We Can't Live Without Deceit.
So why can't we live without deceit?
Great question. I'm so glad you asked. Well, the argument I make, amassing lots of different evidence from lots of different fields, is that lying is much more central to our existence, to our societies, to who we are as human beings, than we like to think. Almost everybody lies. A lot, right? And studies have shown, people kind of tell 2 or 3 white lies a day, right? But it's just something which is kind of woven into daily existence, and yet we talk about it as if it's this aberration or this perversion or this terrible, terrible kind of weird thing. I find that really interesting.
How many lies do you think you tell a day? 2, 3, maybe even 5? A study shows that when meeting a new person, we might tell up to 3 lies in just 10 minutes. And Ian thinks this has been happening for a very long time.
There's a really interesting theory from evolutionary psychology called the Machiavellian theory of intelligence, right? Early humans and our sort of predecessors on the evolutionary tree lived in larger social groups than other primates, right? Now, if you're in a large social group, you have to know who your allies are and who your enemies are and what's going on. And you have to become socially intelligent. There's this kind of arms race going on where you have to detect deception. And when you deceive, you have to be good at it, otherwise they detect it. When they looked at kind of at ape behavior, they saw all these kind of interesting examples of deception. A young ape would be caught doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, going after the food they shouldn't have been taking, whatever, and runs up to the ridge of a hill and sort of makes a noise, which usually indicates, I can see a kind of enemy troop approaching. And all the elders kind of run after the younger one. When they get there, they realise there's no threat at all. But by that time, they've kind of forgotten why they've run up there. The ape has just made a successful kind of diversion. You see these like little micro examples of deception and deceit and dishonesty quite a lot once you start looking for them. The larger the frontal cortex, the more lying is associated. And of course, we have the largest frontal cortex of all, and we do the most lying. So it's kind of really woven into our DNA.